In the shadow of decay I rise, typhus the herald beneath poison skies. With nobles rot I lay rust to waste, the reaper's scythe no life can escape. Beneath the flies, beneath the filth I spread the plague with a twisted will. From festering wounds, corruption grows in the heart of death. God, where despair flows. I am the harbinger, the bringer of disease. In nobles' name I spread death with ease. Vessels water me hand in hand, rivers of filth drown the land. I am Typhus, master of decay. In the name of ruin I claim the day. Light crumbles to dust. Wherever I tread, rot consumes the just. Space hopes reek of a foul rebirth, carriers of plague across the cursed earth. Beneath the flies, beneath the filth I spread the plague with a twisted will. From festering wounds, corruption grows in the heart of death. God, where despair flows. I am the harbinger, the bringer of disease. In nobles' name I spread death with ease. Vessels water me hand in hand, rivers of filth drown the land. I am Typhus, master of decay. In the name of ruin I claim the day. The Imperium's light crumbles to dust. Wherever I tread, rot consumes the just. Space hulks reek of a foul rebirth, carriers of plague across the cursed earth. Beneath the flies, beneath the filth I spread the plague with a twisted will. From festering wounds, corruption grows in the heart of death. God, where despair flows. I am the harbinger, the bringer of disease. In nobles' name I spread death with ease. Vessels water me hand in hand, rivers of filth drown the land. I am Typhus, master of decay. In the name of ruin I claim the day. Language howl, the gassing walls, pestilent tides, new life is born. Miracles passing, a twisted grace. My erase your heart in my cold embrace. Fear the plague fleet, fear the end. No salvation, no let to defend. I am Typhus, reaper of dread. Bow to Nurgle, embrace the dead.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Disgustingly Resilient podcast with me, Death Guard Dave, and Aiden. Aiden, how you doing?
I'm very well. We're correctly named this time as well, Dave. Although I look like I am in a cave for some reason. Like, oh, the curtains are fully shut. That is why. There we go. I just want to make sure that people know I do not live in literally a cave. I'll even
at least you're not doing a will where you've got, like, you know, a full sun.
The light of Jesus behind me.
yeah, exactly. Haloed.
Readjust this light a little bit. No, I'm not too bad, man. I'm pretty good. I'm very busy at the moment. Very, very busy. But hopefully a bit of a not so much quietness coming up. There's always gonna be stuff to do. But I mean, we've got London not this weekend, the weekend after. So that's on the horizon. There is an RTT on the Monday coming, which I'm gonna try and see if I can bribe Nat to allow me to attend to get some practice in for LGT. And of course, it's not just a single event for myself and you. It's also a doubles event at the start. So for those who don't know,
doubles.
For those who don't know, there is a Friday sort of evening-ish. It's like 2 to 10
Yeah, it's quite a long one.
Yeah, RTT doubles event at LGT on the Friday, and that is then followed on the Saturday, Sunday by the main event, which is obviously your standard like 5 round sort of super major.
Yeah, yeah.
So that would be, if that is the case, if I do get to go to the RTT, that would be what, minimum 11 games in a week. Which is very abnormal for me. I normally get to play like once every 2 weeks, if that. Because I try TTS, man, but I just can't.
I can't. I don't get on with it. Like it's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing. I just don't. Cookies and I can't. Right, it's in the chat, boys. We've got it. Cookies. Okay, we got. Where can I get some good cookies?
Be really
Dave?
specific on type and volume of cookies, because right now you can get him to commit to whatever you want.
That is very true. That is very, very true. So, yeah, part of that, though, good. And also, coming up quick, thank you very much to Mr. Oliver Edwards, who's already become a Plague Marine. Thank you so much for the support there, buddy. But, Dave, what is a Plague Marine? Look at that.
What is a Plague Marine? A Plague Marine is a measly $2.99 subscription to the channel, which you can do by clicking on the join button. That gets you access to simply just the best Discord resource for Death Guard anywhere on the internet. So we have 1,380 odd, I think, now people inside the Discord. I mean, literally, we've just like a black hole have hoovered up the entire Death Guard community. And in there, you will have everything from casual players to competitive players. We've got channels for every detachment. If you want to know tech and what's going on, if you just want to hang out with people who also like Death Guard, if you want painting tips, there's a members section for those who kind of stay on paying, because once you're in, we don't kick you out. We're not a horrible mercenary group on that front. So once you have subscribed to us for the month at least, you do get to stay in. You know, it's a really, really good, seriously wholesome, non-toxic environment. So
to this
if
day,
you're brand
Dave,
new and you want to learn to play, it's a great place to start. And if you are a more advanced or more tournament player, then it's a good place to get tips, tricks on what's going on in the meta.
To this day, Dave, on topic of it being like a non-toxic place, surprisingly, I think we've had to ban for the like 2.5 years it's been going. We had to ban one person, I think. One.
Yeah, I've only DM'd one person to say, like, tone it down.
That's it. So we have a very thing, and people also, when we have had to say to people, hey, you're getting a bit passionate there, they have responded really well and actually like took it on board. So it's a really positive place to be, which is awesome. And we also got some new painting tutorial up. So if you are a Blight Lord or Death Shroud member tier, Natalie has done a plasma gun tutorial, which is really cool. Actually, I was very impressed by it. I'm going to steal it myself.
I didn't even paint it. I was impressed with it.
Yeah, she does painting guides every month. She tries to do a new one. So so far, I've had like corrupted flesh. The eyes, eyeballs like the demon engines, the plasma, all that cool stuff there. Which is did that one person have a shower? Yes, they showered. That's why they were kicked remorselessly.
They were too clean.
But yeah, it's an awesome. It's only awesome because of the other people that are in there. So happy about that. But enough about that anyway. If you can support us by any means, feel free. Like and subscribe helps more than you can think. Though if you can't afford anything, do not.
Yeah, and especially if you're watching on demand, please do comment, do ask questions in there. We do read all the comments on every single video. If it's anything that people are commenting from the sound levels, for example, even if it's something like that, we will off camera have discussions about it. If people have got comments or ideas about new content or ways of doing things, we do talk about it. So please do comment. We do read everything, and just like hearing from you guys. So like, comment, subscribe.
Excellent. And we've got some people in the chat as well, some regular faces, some new ones as well. Mr. Sergey Bobogodsky, he says, I have my first RTT this Saturday running VV with the Morty Demon Prince combo. Very excited. Best of luck with that.
Nice.
It's an interesting list to play. It's very, very different. It's not my thing personally, but it is very powerful, as we've seen. Derek's done very well at that list. So I hope you're the best. And it's genuinely a list that the more you play it, the more tricks you realise, the better you'll get at it. So I really hope you have a blast at your first ever RTT, mate. And remember, don't get caught up in your results. Just go have an absolute blast of a time. And if you manage to pull off a win, maybe 2, excellent. If you win 3, then I'll give you the channel.
Well, the other thing I was going to say was is also with this as your first RTT, don't if it doesn't work for you at that event for some reason, like you play into better players, you're learning how it all works, and it doesn't go to plan for you what you were feeling, kind of what Aiden was saying, don't get hung up on results. Don't tear it to pieces and go back to scratch. Like that, you won't learn what worked and what didn't. If you've got like the core Morty Demon Prince works for you, change one thing around it. and then try again with it. Like, and then, you know, give it, the only way you learn is by kind of having multiple reps with something familiar. So if you just tear it all up and try something again, you won't get the benefits.
Indeed. And also, thank you very much for $2 super chat from Pluto Dubs. Where to cheese it? Okay, right, let's get this installed. I will do it when we're back from London. The reason because I actually am lactose intolerant, and the last thing I want to do is like upset my stomach before
He actually
going to London. So when we're back from London, the weekend after, I will get it in stone. We will do it then. I will even arrange the stream so I can't back out of it because it'll be on the channel schedule. So hopefully that'll do it. And also thank you very much, Lazy Chicken, for the gifted membership there. Sharkbait, it just got that good old Finding Nemo reference. So thank you so much there. So yeah. It's good to be on the chat. Everyone's having a nice time and everyone's ready. Hopefully people got some exciting events coming up, obviously, in the UK. A lot of us going to be going to London, hoping to see a lot of friendly faces there.
It's good.
But in the meantime, Dave, speaking about things that might upset your stomach, you had to stomach playing a different detachment.
Ugh. Yeah, I did. I'm lucky enough that I get to play at the club that I usually play at. One of the members who was going to that set up a new club in not too far away, about half an hour. So and they run their events on Sundays. So every couple of weeks there's a session on, and I went on this Sunday. So I took my cock.
You whipped it out in public.
I packed my cock up. I put it in the car. I took it to a new club. I whipped it out. I put it on the table, and I bashed some stuff with it.
Yeah, by the screenshots I was sent of the ordeal, your opponent like he did not have a fun time handling your cock.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't really like touching it very much, if I'm honest. It was, and when my cock and his models came into contact, there was only one result.
Excellent. So for those who may not be aware, we're obviously talking about the detachment and nothing actually
COC, of course.
COC, Champions of Contagion.
Capital C, small O, capital C.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing to here. So obviously, Dave, you are known for playing Death Lord's Chosen. You've been a Death Lord's Chosen one trick almost.
I've only played Death Lord's Chosen since Codex release.
Oh God, Lord. Okay, so
this is the first time I've ever played a non-Death Lord's Chosen list in a serious game.
So what did your Champions of Contagion list then actually like? Because I imagine it probably had a few less Terminators than normal. However, I'm still going to expect there being was there a 6-man Death Shroud brick by any chance, Dave?
Yes, there was.
Dave Shroud. So go on, take it away, Mr. Dave. What do you take?
I don't know if those who've been watching us for a long time will know that I think I've said a few times that I start every list build with 6 Death Shroud and a Lord of Contagion. Like that's what I did. So my Champions of Contagion list, basically, this is kind of going back to what I was saying about the Discord and the benefits of having it, is, from jumping in and out of some of the threads and talking about lists, people will say things like, oh, well, some of that could work really well in Champions. So I was like, okay, I've played Death Lord's Chosen repeatedly. Death Shroud are now more expensive, which means I can't run... If it had stayed the same, I probably would have taken my Leeds list to LGT. So that would have been Morty, 2 units of 6 Death Shroud, a unit of 3 Death Shroud, and then stuff around it. But we don't live in those times anymore, Aiden, do we?
Unfortunately not. It turns out having 20 points put on every 3 Death Shroud you put on, for someone like myself who maybe took 1 or 2 squads of Death Shroud, not the biggest issue. For someone running 15 of them... Yeah.
Phil, exactly right. 6 DST and LOT is a solid foundation. It certainly is. But going from the top, so I've got a Biologist Putrifier. Unsurprisingly, you'll know what the other bits in this are. So no filing, no enhancement. So I'm like, no. Then you'll probably have the same reaction when I tell you what I actually did with the Plague Marines and the Rhino. Lord of Contagion, a second Lord of Contagion, a Lord of Virulence, which I was talked into by Oliver and Zito. And probably Dylan as well. Malignant Plaguecaster, Tallyman. Those are my characters. Then we've got 10 Plague Marines. So double one bubotic, double Blight Launcher, 2 heavy plague weapons, 2 spewers, and 2 plasma guns. And the champion's got a plasma gun and a power fist. Then we've got Rhino, usual stuff. We've got 2 times 2 spawn. Then we've got Brick of 3 Death Shroud, Brick of 6 Death Shroud, 2 heavy Blight Launcher drones, 2 Mephitic Blight Haulers, and 2 10 Poxwalkers.
Nice.
And I was playing Sisters.
Okay, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, and there was quite a lot of melter in it, but there was no infiltrate. 1 scout, which was the immolator, because is that right? Is that what it's called?
The one that has like the 2 multi-metals on top.
Yeah, the one that's got the 2 flamers on it.
Flamers, yeah.
Because he put a certain unit in it, so that allowed it to kind of scout.
Yes.
And we were playing diagonal deployment. I think it was map 3 of LGT, and the mission was Purge the Foe.
Ooh.
And I went first.
Okay, so that is actually massive advantage to Sisters, because Purge
Correct.
you really want to go second. So okay, carry on.
Yeah. So I went first. So I infiltrated. But we should probably put a map up. I'll do a later. But there's basically where the board's cut in half. There's kind of a small L ruin here. There's kind of another small L ruin at the top. You've got the big L kind of on the middle. Then you've got the 3x9 next to it, and then you've got a couple of the mid Ls kind of back. So I stick my Poxwalkers in the bottom right one. He's got no deep strike, so I've got nothing to worry about for stuff coming in on the back. So I stick the Tallyman on my home. I put the Lord of Virulence in Deep Strike. I put the 6 Death Shroud and Lord of Contagion in Deep Strike, and the 3 Death Shroud and Lord of Contagion reserve. So they're all off the board. Everything else is on. I've got a drone at the top. I've got Chaos Spawn sat in 2 places in the open, but with a 6-inch scout to get behind cover. And the only thing that he can reach me with from his deployment turn 1 is he can scout this, the flame tank up, and then basically just sneak an angle with a kind of 12-inch move onto the Poxwalkers, which are behind the L in the middle, in no man's land at the bottom. But I'm not particularly worried about that. I can spend 1 C, give them a 6-up invuln, and then give them 5-up filling pain.
If they want to trade away an immolator and all the girls inside,
so I'm like, he's got a unit. I can't remember what the unit's called, so forgive me. It's Sisters that have got melters.
Retributors.
Okay, so they're in there. So I've basically gone, if you throw a tank and some Retributors at a 10-man Poxwalker group, when I've got a Mephitic Blight Hauler that can jump out and then shoot you, and another one that can move down and shoot you, then that's up to you. So to my opponent's credit, like, he's been playing a year now. He's done a couple of tournaments. He's going to LGT. He's played quite a few armies, so he's kind of hot between quite a few. So obviously I'm 4 years into playing, and I've done 3 and a bit years of that, our tournament, and I only play Death Guard. So I am at an advantage kind of in the situation on the table.
Yeah.
But given that, he did play well, but I would say that first thing of me putting those Poxwalkers there was like, well, fine, come and try and get rid of them. But if you don't kill them, then you're now in contagion range, and I'm going to drop 6 Death Shroud on you with a Lord of Contagion. So he puts the tank up, gets out, doesn't get out the Retributors, moves is it a Seraphim squad with the wings?
Yeah.
Yeah, moves them onto the point as well. Shoots the Poxwalkers, and they can't come through the wall because I'm with the move. He can't get into base to base because I'm an inch off the wall, obviously. And I've got some Chaos Spawn, so that if he does kill the Poxwalkers, the Chaos Spawn with an advance can put all of it into contagion range in replacement for the Poxwalkers. But the problem is I use go to ground. Of course, he rolls 2 dice for his flamers, gets like a 6 or something. Drops a couple in from the wound roll. Yep. I then save 3 or 4 of them, and I think I lose 3 Poxwalkers to the flamers and the bolters and stuff. So I just pull them out still, so that there's no gap to to make it easy to come through the wall. And then in my turn, I drop 6 Death Shroud and a Lord of Contagion down. Next to it, I move the Blight Haulers out. I blow the tank up. He has to get the unit out within 3. I flame the unit off that's just got out of the tank, and I charge the unit that was on the point and pick that up as well. So, like, the Death Shroud just kind of take the point and then sit on this side of it, and now he's got to throw more resources at it. So he brings Val round, brings another unit down from the top, gets out some sorry, I've got having complete mind blank. What the melee unit with the kind of chainswords, the big swords. Repentia, sorry, thank you.
Right.
So I then, obviously, in his shooting phase, I pop +2 toughness. So I've now got T9 Death Shroud, making melters hit on 4s. So wound on fours. So I basically I only lose a couple to tons of melter fire from all of Val's unit from another unit that comes down.
It
The Repentia
turns
charge
out
in.
when you're not a vehicle, so those
Yeah.
anti-tank units don't get all those rerolls against you, but you have the toughness of a vehicle.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of good miracle dice, but so I'm like saving saves in it. I'm losing some of them, but it's all because they're just sucking up all this firepower and all this unit over one objective. And on the top objective, I've put 2 Chaos Spawn on it, and I've parked the Rhino with the 10 Plague Marines in it and the characters behind the kind of no man's land L ruin at the top, and I've put 2 Chaos Spawn on the point behind it. So I've got 5 OC on there. So if he puts anything, moves it out into the open, I've then got a heavy blight launcher drone waiting to pop out to shoot it, and then I've obviously got a box of death waiting to jump out. Basically, long story short, the Plague Marines sit inside the Rhino for the entire game. I didn't even actually need to get them out, but I got them out turn 4 to just pick up some other stuff. I got kill more every single turn except turn 1 because we can't score it. Except I got kill. I think I would kill more every single turn, and that was going first. One turn I picked up 5 units because there was some which had characters attached. Death Shad eventually die at the bottom. But then by that point the game was kind of really run away with. I think there's a really bad trade to start with down there, but I will say from playing champions, it definitely felt like there were a lot more levers to pull.
Yes, there is.
So I first turn I put myself on -1 to hit, just in case anything got close enough to do so.
Just quickly note on that one.
Out.
The turn 1 -1 to hit when going second is so good for Poxwalkers. Now, you got shot by Seraphim, who obviously have flamers, so they just probably ignored all that nonsense. That, like, I've had it versus a lot of skirmishing units in the game, like, tend to have, like, utility rules. They don't tend to have many rerolls or anything like that. And people are hesitant to, like, you're not going to give them characters that give them all these keywords. So stuff I've had like World Eater's Chaos Spawn coming into me. They hit on 5s now in close combat, just bounce off Poxwalkers, and it makes this 65-point unit. And as you said there as well, the fact that you have the go to ground as well, if you want that 6 invulnerable, like what? Because like we can sit here and say that was a bad trade for your opponent, and it was admittedly, but like what was the alternative?
Well, I think what I said to him afterwards was, and this is kind of I guess for everyone a bit of thinking if you're newer to playing, is what purpose it does that unit serve? I said to him, if we were to wind that back, if you were looking at my Poxwalkers that were infiltrated onto that point, and I was holding it, and you had to clear them off, if the point of your flame tank was to get rid of that unit, if that's what it's there for in general, is to flame off trash, right? I said, then putting a unit inside with melters doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Because you've got less attacks. It's overkill for trash unit. You don't have enough shots to potentially do it. And also, when you lose them in the hit back, it hurts because you've lost a vehicle killing unit. You've lost a monster killing unit for 10 Poxwalkers. Probably if you could have if you can, you should probably put something like Repentia in there, or swap that unit, the melter weapons out for flamers, and then put those in there to make sure that you kill off that unit. I said what you could have done is brought the tank round, flamed them. If you killed them, then great. Then you basically keep the unit inside. You're touching onto the point. You could then hop out afterwards, or you could have moved the tank, hopped out onto the point, put 10 OC on there, flamed off the Poxwalkers with the tank, or worst case scenario, you just hold it because you've got more OC on there than me. And then I've got to do something. Yeah. But, instead what happened was you let me pop the tank, make you get your unit out, and then kill that, and then charge the third unit that was on there. So actually, you ended up losing 3 units for none.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like it was a difficult one. I totally see him. If you look at it and you go, it's just 10 Poxwalkers, and I've got a 2d6 flame tank with a heavy bolter and like a missile on it as well. Then you might look at it on paper and go, it probably will pick it up. But I said to him, I didn't think I was going to lose that unit.
No, I wouldn't. I'd be comfortable with that as well. Same as you, mate. Like I said, you got especially if you're on your headset, you're going to go to ground because a 6 will be vulnerable, followed by 5 feel no pain. Like that's more annoying than people think to kill. I think that's the old trap a lot of people fall into. I think a lot of people sometimes think these are like cultists, but like even the toughness 4, like again, those Seraphim wounding you on 4s because their hand flames are strength 4. If that was any other chap in the game, wounding on 3s,
Gone. Yeah.
The maths just changes so hard on so many things.
Yeah, it does.
And all it takes is a little cheeky, spike on a 6-up or a feel no pain, and then there you go, they're alive. So that's cool.
And also, you could put +2 toughness on them as well, right?
If you have a character in them, yes.
If you had a character, if you had a Noxious Brightbringer with them or something like that.
Or
then...
Typhus in 20 with 6 toughness is actually pretty damn good. I've used that before, and I absorbed two squads of Infractors with Lord of Exultants into that squad, and they lived. Well, like don't remember, the unit was mauled. The unit was the unit was like super mauled. It was like by the end of it, I think I had like 4 guys left in Typhus, but like to take that, absorb it, because he's obviously -1 to hit close combat, and then be able to swing back and kill like most of us go with Typhus, then psyker it to death.
Cat's yowling somewhere.
It's alright. It was really cool to see. So I think Champions is just an interesting one. I feel like, but at the same time, like Champions, I feel like the decisions that you can make can also lead you to mistakes. It's one of those where the choices between like, crit, like the full rerolls, for example, like you can dump 3 CP on a unit to get full rerolls to hit and wound and crit 5s to guarantee kill something. But I've seen people do that when it wasn't really mathematically needed, and then they have no CP. They're struggling for the rest of the game. It's quite interesting. But I mean, did you enjoy COC?
Yeah, I did. I thought Champions was fun. Like it felt weirdly, it kind of felt quite liberating in a way. Like it was like I was able to. I felt like I had more play in more phases.
Yeah,
I think is the right way to put it. I was able to be like, oh, okay, in your shooting phase, well, I'm going to make this unit. It's going to go to T9, or I'm going to get in my shooting phase, I'm going to get rerolls, or I'm going to put crit 5s onto this. It definitely felt kind of quite. I felt like I had more agency in my opponent's turn. I think is probably the way to put it.
I think one of my favourite things about Champions as well is because you get to change the contagion every turn. You get to actually play around a little bit with like I had a game where I played against a guy and I had my Poxwalkers behind the wall on the objective. I had like 7 of the Poxwalkers touching the objective, and then he sent out 5 guys onto my objective who were OC2 each, and he flipped it, and then in his head he's like, I don't need to send someone round to kill the Poxwalkers now, because I'll just out OC it. And in my turn, I was like, cool, let's start my command phase, -1 OC. I still hold it, and then I kill that 5-man squad, and I'm like, cool. So now it's gone from me now having to send someone out to deal with his threat to stop me losing primary, and being denied primary for turn 2. I held primary anyway, and you just gave me 5 of your trading pieces for free.
I actually warned my opponent about that when he was umming and ahhing about sticking with the unit where I had the Rhino parked and the 2 Chaos Spawn behind it for 5 OC. He was umming and ahhing about putting a character and 5 onto that point, and I said to him, if you do that, I'm just going to pop -1 to your OC in my command phase, and then you'll lose that unit. And he was like, okay, cool, thanks, I appreciate that. But even just the ability to do it is, I talk about this a lot, where certain models and certain abilities actually, you can, without having to use it, you can influence the game.
I mean, you're the perfect detachment. Final ingredient is right there. Final ingredient is it changes the way your opponent has to play the game, because you will, honestly, you will not get final ingredient more than you will actually get it. But the threat of you getting it means your opponent has to be careful with the characters, really careful. Which is really interesting. Also, thank you very much to Matty SK for becoming a Blight Lord member. Hell yeah, Matty. Thank you so much,
thanks,
mate.
Matty.
Well, again, once you become a member, go to our YouTube channel homepage, click the See Perks button. You'll be a link to get yourself into our Discord, mate. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. And Dana Johnson, member for 19 months. At this point, DSTs are officially named Dave Shroud Terminators. Thank you very much, Dana. And people in the chat again agreeing. So Reb saying a single Poxwalker can make all the difference on scoring. It can also, even if it's not scoring, like one Poxwalker surviving, that's still spreading contagion actively. Like, being able to just, like you said, if like a Poxwalker survives, now you don't have to send out that spawn. It means the spawn could potentially go elsewhere or just hang back for a turn. Like, genuinely, like, sometimes just having a single model of anything in our army survive is massive, because it just allows you to then, like, spread contagion, drop Death Shroud, and all that, things like that. Hugh Janus is asking, did you like the way COC felt in your hands? Very nice, Hugh, very nice.
Yeah, and I had to use both of them.
Phil saying it sounds like your COC rose to the challenge. Nice. Yep.
Yeah, that was nice one, Phil. Yeah.
Nice. But yeah, no, it's cool to see you sort of branching out. Now, the question on probably everyone's mind is this something that's going to continue, or is it still Dave Lord's chosen for LGT?
I think because I've played Dave Law's Chosen at 2 super majors now. I think I'm going to play this list at London.
Ooh, okay, very interesting.
I think just to mix it up, and also we always talk about this. Like I don't feel like I could, and when you guys have been talking about this before, because you've been playing VV and you've been playing Champions, I've tried to stay out of having too much of an opinion on it because I haven't played it properly to a point where I go, yeah, well, when I did it, this is what occurred, or I found this with it. So I am going to probably play this at London to cement a bit of a expertise in that, so to speak, in that detachment. And also, I feel like I was able to play my way, how I play Death Guard with champions, which is the thing I like most. Like, I think the guys were killing themselves last in one of the Discord chats. I actually didn't need to take the Plague Marines out of the Rhino the entire game, but I did turn forward just to shoot 2 more units and make sure that my kill more was way out of contention. Like there was no way to get it, but I didn't need to do it. And to your point, there were 2 5-man. There was a Retributor squad and a Rhino, and then there was some another melee unit, and I just got the Plague Marines out and just spent the TCP to kind of re-roll hits and wounds.
I just want them dead.
Just because I had it to use, I hadn't used it yet.
There is a strange power trip to full rolling a Plague Marine squad with crits 5s.
It just feels, and when you've got crit sustained 5s as well on it, it was just like I was a bit like, oh, it feels dirty. But
it's so good though. It's so good.
But for me though, as you know, I'm a terrible Terminator aficionado. The ability to give that unit, one of them crit 5s, the ability to make one go to T9, like I was really impressed with just that, the impact of being shot by loads of melters and then being like shot by strength 8 weapons as well, and just going, well, that's fine. And the melters are all 4s, so I'm 50-50ing my saves on those now, and because I got 4 Bimvon, and if I then need just 1 save, like I'll happily spend a CP to go with that. It was really, it was good. So gonna take my cock to London.
Nice, good. Glad to hear.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sort of like.
What about you?
I'm 50-50 at the moment. I don't think the list itself is probably going to change, but the detachment choices. I mean, there might be a little changes, but VV and COC is probably like obviously the ones I'm looking at. COC was the one that was originally taken.
Yeah.
But I don't. Obviously, the dates that happened, we obviously this is the first time we're on stream for yourself since that happened. I'm a little worried about World Eaters. I'm not going to lie. I think we're going to see a lot of them. So -1 damage is looking pretty good to sort of deal with the new menace that I think we're going to see a lot of Exalted 8-bound, and they get +1 damage versus monster and vehicles, which has kind of put me off VV at the same time because I don't think the Demon Prince is the play anymore because I don't care if your Demon Prince is -1 damage, they have +1 damage and they're probably going to rip him to shreds given they're an average kill a night with just the character. So I don't think that's the play either, but at the same time, like having access to -1 damage on things like Death Shroud, that is impactful. Like that you have to put 8 wounds on a Death Shroud to on average kill one. Like that, that's quite impactful. So I need to have a bit of a debate whether I want to play VV. So I'm hoping I go to this RTT on Monday and we'll see how it gets along. So I'm not sure where to take VV to that because currently I think I'm taking COC. So it might be worth taking VV to the RTT.
I think so.
How it feels.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try VV with no Demon Prince because I genuinely feel like Demon Prince is just going to become. It's a multiple thing because right now I still really like the Demon Prince, but I feel like if I was to look at what I would consider the strongest armies in the game after the buffs, World Eater I think's up there, who can definitely kill him. Yep. And Eldar with 10 Fire Dragons and Fugan will just kill him and get back into a thingy.
Any Eldar list is going to be packed full of Fire Dragons,
and they're just going to shoot him.
They're just good at killing everything.
And if they had to get out to shoot him and stay there, I'd be fine with that. But the problem is they're going to get out, shoot, kill him, and then piss off back into a Wave Serpent. I'm a bit like, I don't know if he's like. I still like him, still think he's a great unit. I just don't know if they what I think are going to be some of the strongest armies just haven't answered to him too well at the moment. It's the same reason I'm a bit out of Mortarion because again, the guys will rip him to pieces. the Exalted 8-bound and the Slaughter Band will do a massive chunk on him. God forbid someone brings a 6-man, they will just kill him. And the same thing with the Fire Dragons. Like, I watched Derek's Dirtbag's recap on his event for Nova Open, and in brutally honest, I think even he'll admit it himself. There was the second game versus Eldar. He was on the brink of losing it until 10 Fire Dragons popped out of a transport, went to shoot Mortarion, and he banged 10 out of the 11 invulns. And then from there, because the thing is the Eldar can't take a hit back, so then Mortarion went and killed like half the army. Like if Mortarion would have gone down there, that he would have been in position to do that, and I think he would have lost.
Statistically, he absolutely should have done.
Oh yeah, 100%. He should have
10 Fire Dragons.
He was dead to rights there, like, and honestly, so
yeah.
And I don't worry, he still did the right play. He sent Mortarion out because he read the right on the wall. He was like,
of course.
His only win path was I bang a load of invulns, and sometimes you do.
And then Morty goes and cleans up.
Yeah, so it's nothing against like me taking away saying, oh, you just got lucky. Like he knew that was the only way he got back in the game.
Yeah.
But like that is, like that's a scary thing, and I don't like being caught in positions like that. Obviously, when it does happen, that's awesome. So I'm gonna see what happens. Like I honestly, I think the Blight Lord brick could still be really good. I
enjoy. Yeah. I played the 10-man Blight Lord brick when I played Thousand Suns with DLC, and I really liked it.
I've been very, very impressed with it, because the thing is
and I played the I played the 10-man against Steven just recently. So
you did, didn't you? So
people will be able to see on the channel when it goes live.
Yeah, you did. So have to see how that goes on there. But it's a lot of interesting builds at the moment, and there's also like in the back of my head there's this crazy like Plague Marine spam build, but I think that's like it's too close to London to pivot to something really crazy like that.
Yeah, it is definitely.
And again, I need to remember like stop trying to be cute with things. Like stop trying to be like I'm the Plague Marine guy. I took this weird Plague Marine list. Like just take a list that's like proven decent. And or at least it's more core to what like I'm used to playing. So
until the game stops being kill first, score later, don't be cute.
It helps that challenger card's dead. At least that's a good thing. I'm so happy about that. So we'll have to see. But I think it's too short notice to try and make that crazy adaptation now. Because if it goes wrong, I could screw up my entire London. So let's play it a bit safer than that. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm going to see how it gets on. I will do a full event recap for the RTT. If I do end up going, because I can do that on like the Wednesday or something, which would be quite fun for the stream as well to see how it got on, because that'd be quite interesting.
Yeah, it would be. I'd be really keen to hear what you think going out of it, because like I said, I think you could take champions and just you could just go to the event, you could play it. Be interested to see what you think after that, whether or not I guess if you don't go to the RTT, how are you going to solve that dilemma?
Flip a coin at that point. It's like bing. Let's see what we get. But I mean,
just put them both physically out in front of you and look at them both and make a call.
yeah, we can do that. If I go to that too, I'll definitely do an event recap afterwards, Mr. Body. Do not worry, I will make sure we get an event recap up for that one. So yeah, that's where my head's at with the game currently. I think. I mean, I'm happy for some of the changes, like Necron Silent King losing ignore modifiers has made me less worried about that matchup, which is great.
Yes, definitely.
GSC, not worried about that. I mean, it's rare you run into it, but if you're worried about that, I'd be like, ugh. So we'd have to see. But they're gone mostly now, it looks like, so pretty happy about that. Or at least they'll be in that weird transition where they're trying to figure out the next list. Tau could be troublesome.
Yes.
That could be quite a big problem. Flat 4 damage on that Riptide's pretty scary at strength 10, but
that's terrifying.
It is terrifying. But again, because challenger cards the way they are now, and Tau really struggle to hold primary, and challenger cards being gone, I think we can just default back to the whole kill the Tau off the primary every game and exist on your own, and stop them basically getting on it. So that'd be quite interesting to see. We'll have to see that. Just done by Mr. Mr. Magic Man, sorry. Long time watcher, first time in live stream. You've helped me come into the game and play it decently. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Joseph. You're very welcome, mate. I'm glad to hear. Welcome to the game. I hope you're having fun with it, and welcome to the stream as well. I hope you have enjoying your hobby. It's a great hobby to be in, and it's a good hobby to play. I will make sure I go. I know. So actually, a good segue there, Mr. Body, because this is something I actually want to talk about on this stream. This is more of a. We don't really have like a set topic tonight. Like obviously Dave played a different detachment, but we obviously have a lot more to talk about after London and whatnot. But one thing I did want to talk about tonight, and it's something me and Nat have been talking about, is like channel going forward, channel like content wise and stuff like that, because I feel like I almost owe an apology to viewers, because I was speaking with Nat and I feel like I've gone a bit away from what the channel started as. And I know people are going to be like, no, you haven't, don't be daft. But the channel originally was every week was like videos on teaching people how to play, and and like we still do that to a degree, but not as much as I'd like to. And I think we'd like to try and get back into the more teaching side, because like I love streams, I love coming on here with you and talking, Dave, but it's more of a discussion thing rather than a teaching thing. And I'll be honest with you, half of it's also down to like, so again, I'm only talking about this because I want to be like super transparent, super honest with Thingy. The reality of it all is, it is much easier for me to just sit here, put this camera on for like an hour and a bit, and speak to Dave about things that we're doing. It's so much easier. Like, I don't have to prep a presentation, I don't have to like put notes down, I don't have to actually think about what I'm doing. And sometimes I get stuck with like what I want to do, and like I'll ask people in the Discord and stuff for that, and be like, hey, you know, guys, give me some ideas. And a lot of things recently have been deployment, but I'll sit down, I'm like, cool, let's make a video on deployment, and then I'll sit there for an hour staring at the screen like, I don't know where to start. And it's like, it's almost like, I'm not going to say writer's block, because it's not. I'm not a writer, but it's this weird like thing where I'm like,
similar, dude.
It's like, I'm kind of like, I want to make a video, but I'm just not sure where to start. Now, when I get something that actually takes my interest, like I've done one recently, I just need to record it tomorrow, and when I got a bit of free time because Nat's on late, which is playing Death Guard aggressively, which is something I've been like learning myself. That was easy to make, that video, because like I put the presentation together because it was something I saw a comment on, and I feel passionate like about talking about that, and it's quite easy to talk about, and it's something I've not really talked about before. So that there was like, boom, I had the presentation done in like a couple hours. I was like, cool, happy with that. I just need to find time to record it now, which is going to be tomorrow, so I can get that out, and then editing it, which is a little, not massive, but a little bit annoying. So it's just it, and I do enjoy those videos because I genuinely love reading comment section when people find stuff thingy, and I just feel like when I look back at it recently, I've not been doing too many of like the teaching thing, and like I said, we've been more of these talking opinion points, and I still like, these aren't changing. Remember, these aren't going to go away. We're still going to have our weekly stream and whatnot, and our blight series of the weekend, but I just feel like I've almost let people down because I've not been doing as much teaching as I used to, and I'd like to go back to that, because I think that was the grassroots of where the channel grew and saw the most like growing. So I kind of want to get back to that. So I'm hoping I can get a bit more juices flowing back in the sort of like teaching side. And the best way to help me do that is for the members, which I have been doing already, to keep giving me ideas on things you want to see. Like even last week when we were doing our little stream, Dave, we brought TTS in to show the list physically.
It was good.
And then there was a comment in the chat which was like, hey, can we get this for blight surgery when we do these? And I was like, cool, yeah, let's do that. So in the next blight surgery, as we go through members' lists, like we can build them physically on the screen, see what it looks like, get a feel for it. So like we can do all this kind of thing here, which is quite, it's going to be quite, hopefully, like make some little changes there. And we're going to try and get at least one consistent video out a week, or in terms of not looking at the best list, not just like having a live stream. We're talking like, this is either a tactics video or like a how to deploy video, and that kind of thing. So I just wanted to clarify that up there, because I feel like I've been a little bit thingy with it, and it's after talking about it, it's been bugging me a little bit. So I feel like I've been a bit unfair. I know people are going to tell me I'm being daft and whatnot, but it's just where my head's at right now. So yeah, I just wanted to have that with the audience, so I'm nice and open, because we like to try and stay open on this channel, as we always do, Mr. Dave. So yeah, that's where my head's at. So rant over.
I think it makes sense, and also it's also about you making the things that make you feel it's worthwhile as well, right? So if that's it's part of it is definitely what people want to watch as well, but I think as a content creator, like if you want to make that kind of stuff and that makes you happy doing it, then for that reason as well, you should be doing it. So I think it sounds good. Look, there's only upside in you making more of that stuff, because it's always really good and people always really appreciate it. And like you said, if we ask the community and people who watch, you know, like I said, we read comments in the videos. So when it comes to people in the Discord and being members of that, do share, you know, what it is you'd like to see. It doesn't mean by any means that we're going to be able to make everything, or that, you know, that we will pursue every single one of those ideas, but there will be stuff in there that makes that will make us go, okay, great, well, let's try it. That is what people want to see, so we'll give it a go creating it.
Yeah, we can try our best. And some of them are hard, like, so Pluto just put a comment in the chat there, which is about bringing back a series where I talked about specific matchups, and I like making them videos. The hard thing about them is it's kind of like an oxymoron because the game changes so much and so quick.
Fast, yeah.
I could make you a video on how to beat, like, how to beat Eldar, and then the next month they've nerfed that build. Like, imagine if I made a video on Yunari. Yunari's dead. Like, no one plays Yunari anymore. It's in an essence, it's almost like a dead video at that point, which is not that makes me not want to do it, but I need to find a way to almost approach that topic in a way that is like how to beat the faction in general, but not too specific for the meta build right now, which is a bit more difficult. And again, if members could help me come up with ideas of ways to approach that and like things you want to see in the video, so it's like, hey Aiden, don't talk about Yunari too much. Just talk about like the units that we're always going to see, like the fire dragons, the annoying like ignoring Overwatch and ways to protect primary. It's things like that. But yeah, I will consider it, mate. I will give it a consider and try and get back into that. Also, I think we want to do some more shorts. So I think even we mentioned that bit as well, Dave, didn't we? So
yeah, we did.
Try and get a few more things out.
We'll get back to doing that. I think and sorry, Death Guard Cat might make an appearance. And no, she's gone the other way. It's fine.
I saw her briefly.
And I think the other thing we'll do is we'll bounce some more ideas kind of between us as well, and chuck content and stuff, because I think I think the other thing people have been talking about is maybe some more of the basic stuff as well, because I think we've got such a large community of people in here now that we've got a chunk of people that are newer to playing or that are newer to playing, and I think we probably both appreciate, as will anyone who's a longer term tournament player, is it takes the first couple of years of you playing takes you that to learn how to deploy properly and how to do it quickly. So I think that's an area that I think I've seen quite a lot of comments that people are asking for as well. So I think we can talk about what is the thought process to doing it, because we couldn't make you a deployment guide for every single faction on every single map on every single with every single, like that wouldn't make sense. But what we probably can do is give you a bit more, like you're looking at an empty board and maybe you're deploying first. What should you be thinking about? And on a setup like this as an example, and how are you thinking kind of one or two ahead? So I think that kind of thing is something else we can probably do a bit more on.
Yeah, so there's already some great suggestions coming out from chat here, which is awesome. Like just even a faction fundamental, just breaking down certain keyers, combos to watch out for, things like that. So I do appreciate, guys. I will make sure I take notes of all these things. So I appreciate that. Also, thank you very much to Flyfus coming in with the Death Shroud tier membership, the upgrade there. Thank you so much, mate. That really helps make my day a little bit easier. I mean that's the long-term discussion in it as well, Dave. If this channel can get big enough to make it full-time, then all this stops becoming a fucking problem, because the main problem right now is time and balancing stuff between family and work and other things. And
I'm sure everyone appreciates the fact that we don't do this full time. This is not our job, but like
it would be cool. It would be cool.
It would be cool. Yeah.
But anyway, back to more Death Guard focused things. So I mean,
does anyone in chat wants to, because we're doing a bit, because we've last 50 minutes or so, is there anything anyone in chat wants to talk about or wants an answer to a question or something a bit more kind of open? I think we've kind of talked about what we're looking at LGT wise, and me playing the new list and kind of content bits we're looking at going forwards. But
I'm so tempted to grudge you on round one of doubles, Dave. I'm not gonna lie.
It would be really funny. We were laughing about this, the fact that so Aiden and Sam are the current reigning champions of doubles. But now I'm playing in doubles as well with my friend. So we were actually laughing the fact that if we get paired into it, we'll have Death Guard and World Eaters versus Death Guard and Emperor's Children. And Aiden and I, before the stream started, were like, well, this is what our thought process was for the Death Guard part of it, and we're both thinking, we both have had exactly the same thoughts.
we were like, what are you thinking of taking? Dave's like, I don't know, Aiden, what are you thinking of taking? And we both said it, and it's like, shit, we've done the exact same thing.
Yeah. And then I went, I was just thinking of doing this. And he's like, yeah, I was thinking exactly the same thing for the alternative.
So what our thoughts were for our doubles, because Dave's paired with World Eaters, I'm paired with Emperor's Children, so we're both like, okay, we're both with this fast, melee, aggressive army. So what if we bring the guns that they lack, and then what we can do is, because they'll be fast and ahead of us, so we can't keep up with them for contagion, let's play Mortarian's Hammer, and then we'll basically give our ability to our teammate, and whatever they're going to charge that turn, they'll basically use it like an O for moment. So my Emperor's Children will be like, I'm going to go charge that unit on the objective, so I'm going to get Aiden to mark that for me. So my guys go in, they'll be -1 toughness, and I get an extra AP on it because -1 save. And I was in my head, I'm like, oh, this is such a good combo. I'm like, no one's gonna see this coming. Everyone's thinking we're gonna be taking VV. I literally spoke to Dave for 1 minute. He's like, yeah, I'm doing the same.
I'm like, yeah, but he can just send those Rhino, get the Rhino, get the Berserkers out, kill whatever's on there at -1 toughness with extra AP, like, and I'm like, and then they're hanging around longer because they've just killed to death whatever it is. So yeah, we basically been thinking exactly the same thing. And then alternatively, I was like, well, if we don't do that, I mean, the other thing I was thinking was, I'm just going to take as many demon engines as possible. And Aiden would laughed and was like, that was the other thought I had.
Yeah, the only thing was slightly different on was that I was also looking at a heavy Poxwalker build, and you were still debating like a Death Shrouded build. But again, yes, it was really funny.
It's very funny.
Meds, thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships. You continue to gift, you absolute madman. Thank you so much, Meds. Really, really, really do appreciate the massive amount of support you've been giving over the last few weeks.
Yeah, man, you're super kind. Thank you very much.
It's far too kind. Thank you so much, Meds. I really appreciate it. And Phil Gagnon as well has been a member for 8 months. Your content's been amazing. Blight Lord surgery discussions. Keep on keeping on. I will do my best to keep on keeping on, mate. I really, really appreciate it, mate. Thank you so much, man.
So I think, like, what a couple of questions people have got in here.
New Calgar. Oh yeah, the new Ultramarines model that was definitely needed, Dave. What did you think about the new Calgar?
I mean, it was a model that everybody wanted, wasn't it?
Apparently.
Okay. Well, no. What we'll say is it looks really good as a sculpt. The detailing and stuff on it, I think, is for me, all that stuff is showing hopefully what we're going to get in the future from Games Workshop for all the armies eventually is going to be like it's all looking better and better. Whether that was the one that we actually needed or not is probably a big fat no.
Why does he have a sword on his belt, Dave? He's got two giant fists.
I know he can't hold them. I know he just likes to wear heavy stuff. He's like, look how much heavy stuff I can carry. Look at me.
He's just whipping out his COC, isn't he?
He is. It's just they're actually not swords. They're actually shopping carrier bag holders, so that you can loop the handles on them. And then just like waddle home.
Makes sense. Yeah, okay, I get it. In a way, you can look at this new model for them. It's kind of like, so when anyone gets a new model, Ultramarines get a compensation model. They're kind of like Necrons when it comes to balanced data slates. Everyone else gets changed and they get compensation buffs for equal attention cake. But no, I mean, like, the one interesting thing is, its name is Marneus Calgar in this name armor. So I don't think it's actually going to replace the old one. I think they're going to exist together as two different variants. And one's going to be like...
People will be bringing both of them. I've got this Marneus Calgar, and then I've got this Marneus Calgar.
I imagine they'll have a rule.
Because it's not the same named model.
I imagine it's going to have a rule that says you can't take the smaller one Marneus Calgar.
I reckon it would.
But one interesting thing I will say is the fact he's in Terminator armor, he's very clearly Terminator armor, you can tell by the legs. That could mean that we're getting new Assault Terminators for Ultramarines. And there's also a new Ultramarine 2. There's another character. There's Kato Thakarios. And there's also Victrix Guard, which now their own. Like we have Death Shroud Blades. They have now an Ultramarine unit, which is the Victrix Honor Guard. So I maybe think this could be the signs of an Ultramarines Codex next edition, them being standalone, which in all honesty would help massively when it comes to Marine balance. Because then you can balance Ultramarine separately. Because they are not the same. Like, you have Blood Angels, you have Dark Angels and Space Wolves split off for the exact reason that they've got their own units and their own identity.
They should do, yeah.
Ultras are at that point and they kind of need to have that done. So, jokes aside, they actually look pretty cool. As always, GW models are always pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
I even like the new Drakari model, like Lady Malice. Looks really cool. One thing I was a bit bummed out about the Drakari models, because someone did ask in chat that question, what about Drakari, is... not the models. Obviously, they've got the new codex. We already know GW is moving away from Finecast models. So all the Finecast models in there have been dropped. Now, that has had a bad impact because now, I don't know if you know this, Dave, there are more data sheets in the Votann book than there are in the Dark Eldar book.
You're kidding.
No. Which is pretty bad.
Not a good thing.
And
they've been around forever.
Yeah, and I feel like the problem is they're obviously going to get. We know they're going to get redone. It's probably going to be next
Of course.
edition. But in the meantime, you think like just because they know their rework's not coming this year, you think they'd have let them keep hold of the fan cast for a little bit, just for this book, and then get rid of it next one.
Yeah. Just to the end of the edition.
Yeah, because it feels a little rough. But I mean, like at the same time, I hope their book is good and fun. Oliver's already played a game against it, said it's actually more powerful than it looks, so it can be quite scary, which again, Drakari should be. And all the books are out. We did it, Dave. We've made it.
Well, yeah, I know, it's amazing. And I think the other thing I think we've and I know no one believes this if we say this anymore, but genuinely we don't know anything about this. This is pure speculation on my behalf and a bit of chat. Was with Ultramarines getting some new models, then does that mean that start of June next year, when maybe we get 11th, if the cycle remains the same, it's going to be the Smurfs up front.
It could be probably Smurfs, and the rumours are saying Smurfs versus Orcs.
They've been up front for a lot of them, right? So
yeah, it's very rare that the Smurfs are up front. So like we had like is it 7th edition when it was Dark Angels were the actual starting box army.
Right.
Before that, it's normally Ultras. There's been Black Templars once. So yeah, I mean, I'm not against. Like I understand that it feels bad because like you got Drakari who lose like so many units, get one new character and a new Archon sculpt. And then you immediately just like, oh, by the way, here's a new Calgar, which just came out like 5 years ago or something, by the way. Oh, some other Ultramarines. Oh, and a unit for them. And then they also go, but wait, there's more coming. It feels a bit bad. Aiden, how's your Votan project coming along? Pretty well, actually. I've been working on my my little Jaegers. Like, I'm painting up my Jaegers at the moment. Most of it's already painted. I got to do these Jaegers. All of them have arrived now. I got a delayed shipment from Element Games because I missed the first wave of stock. So I've built all my Iron Kinners, my Steel Jacks, sorry, as they're called. They're all built up. So I need to paint those guys. And I've got 2 Capri Suns, as I like to call them, as the little transport things with a railgun in the back to build. And then, yeah, I mean, I'm hoping I get to go and play them at some point because like I barely get to play them because I just play Death Guard pretty much. So I think I'm going to teams in February. So, I mean, if Death Guard are in a good spot, obviously take Death Guard. But it's nice to at least have, like, the backup army. Because when it comes to teams, like, as much as I love Death Guard, obviously I want to play Death Guard. If it came to it and, like, Death Guard got put in a really bad state, which I don't think is going to happen, but if it did, sometimes I'd have to put my personal thing aside for the sake of VT for the team. Because I want to perform the best I can for VT. And if that means taking LOV, for example, Leagues of Votan, for example. But again, that's teams is a beast. And when it always comes to singles and it's a proper event, I'm obviously going to take my Death Guard. You like, come rain or snow. It's just when it comes to teams, obviously, you got to think of you're not going for yourself. Like, I can go to try and prove a point with a weak army. Like, I'm fine with that, but I'm not going to do that to my team because, again, if I become the weak link and lose all the games
you're
for
not
us,
playing for yourself though either. So
exactly, so it's cool to have for that. So yeah, they're coming along nicely. Thank you very much. I'm just gonna get these Jaegers done, these infiltrating guys, because they are taking quite a while with all those leather coats. But part of that, I'm chipping away. Chipping away is the best way to put. Dana Johnson, you at $10 super chat. Thank you so much, mate.
Thank you very much.
Late video series idea here. Instead of doing specific faction breakdowns, I'd love to see deployment, strategy, fundamentals versus average archetypes. Death Guard, now that I can do. Because there are a lot of fundamentals that get, like again, if you were World Eaters and Emperor's Children, they share fundamentals on like screens with Poxwalkers on deployment, stuff like that. That I can do, so that's a great idea there, Dana. So I'll make sure. I always think I'm not sure if it's Dana or Dana. I apologize if I get it wrong, but yeah, that is something I genuinely can do. Yep. That is a great shout. That's a great shout. But I mean,
Hugh asked, ever finished that Great Unclean one?
He's down there. He's almost there. I've got to do his sword and just a little bit more work on his guts, but and then a base, obviously. But he's pretty much there, and I will get back to the every detachment challenge after the LGT. The next one I go to, I will take Taliban too. So it is Dana. Yeah, it's Dana. Cool, that's fine. So the answer is not no, Dave. It's almost there. I got sidetracked. Like painting that green flesh, like I should have just like dry brushed it or something. I was trying to layer it and it sucked my soul away. So I went and did something different. And I mean, I'm also started doing my grim dark Death Guard. That's been an ordeal as well because I glued a load of stones to my base, like cork and stuff to my base because I want to try and make bases awesome. Like cool, excellent. And then because I didn't have super glue, I had to use PVA glue. And then so I glued them. I left them all night. And I was like, cool, time to go and like put this basing material around all the rocks. and literally the millisecond my little scraper touched the rocket, I just fell, just pinged clean off. I was like, bollocks. So I'm gonna have to go and get some proper
you
super
basically
glue.
used a glue that nursery children use to make glitter pictures.
Pretty much, yeah. It also, it has the side benefit of tasting pretty nice, so I can be like bit of glue on the base. So yeah, well,
Brush in one hand, nom nom nom, doing the other.
Exactly, it's great. It's great, you know. So yeah, I've got to get that fixed because I want to get these guys airbrushed. Hopefully this weekend, and cause I need to practice my airbrush. That's going to be fun. I definitely won't make an absolute mess of all that. Brian Searle, how you doing, Brian? Quick sippy for you because I know you like it when I'm sipping my drink. The best vids of the event recaps and tactics. Well, that's what I'm saying. So hopefully on Wednesday, if I go to this RTC on Monday, I can definitely get you guys an event recap streamed on the Wednesday, and it'll be nice and fresh in my mind. So it can be Tuesday to recover straight. And this is something I've been talking about now. Is getting like a consistent schedule of like, this is the day I make a video. This is obviously Tuesday, Sundays the streams, and then like, because man, it's so much. Like right now, if you were to do my schedule, it is like Tuesday stream, Sunday stream, Friday driving lesson, Thursday's VT work. Wednesday is like raid on WoW. I'm just like I basically get Monday to myself, I think, and it's the first day back in work, so I'm like, I want to get home. So yeah, but yeah, I will make sure I get a more consistent thing out. The perverted one, should probably just that one as a new Death Guard player that started once he came across the channel.
Like, cool.
Is there any recommended reading apart from the Codex that you'd recommend for getting in character during battles? I mean, Lords of Silence is a good book. It's hard to get hold of. If you can get hold of that, it's a cracking book to read.
Just go on Audible. Get it on Audible.
Yeah.
It's the best place. It's really well narrated. It's a great story. It's a good one. And if the link works in chat, I know sometimes you box it out. I did actually make a GPT, which is a Death Guard lawkeeper. So if you ask it, it gives some prompts. But if you want to ask it about, tell me about the battles of a certain place, or what was the role of the Terminus Est in the Horus Heresy, it will basically go and find it for you, and it will write it back to you. Write it in a like Voxcastery. So if you want to kind of, or what were the greatest battles of Death Guard that are in the lore, it will go and search and then tell you what it is. So that's kind of a fun bit if you just want some lore stuff. But yeah, read Lords of Silence is definitely a really good one to listen to. I actually sometimes listen to it on the way when I drove to Leeds, which was I don't know 2.5, 3 hours or whatever it was. For some of the drive, I had that on in the car, or like, so I was like getting into the mood to go and play. So
I'm going to quickly go over this one just because it's not a Death Guard book, but it makes me piss, man. It's one of the funniest things I've ever read. And it's also, yes, Med, I did get Dimensius. I did get him, so thank you.
Yeah,
that was but so there's this book, and it's from an old anthology book called like Realms of Chaos. It's back when GW Ryan was a bit weirder and a bit threer, and it's the funniest shit I've read because basically it's about, I can't remember if they called the Ironheart Space Marines, like when everyone had a chapter master. Like they had a Primarch. Every chapter master was called a Primarch back then, so every chapter had a Primarch, even the made up ones. And the story is about this guy, and he was supposed to like become a Space Marine, but he was amazing. He was super tactical, super this, and he basically worked in a VR facility for virtual reality to train Space Marines. And he he was so good at everything, yet every time he went to have the operation to become a Space Marine, his body rejected it. Until eventually he rejected it so many times, his body became permanently ill with the sniffles. So he could never attempt to have it done again. So he basically got depromoted from Primarch aspirant thing to the guy who just monitors the VR. And then I don't know how this happened, but this VR world became under attack from Khorne and from Chaos Space Marines. They invaded the VR world thinking it was real through a warp portal, and him witnessing this made him decide, rather than just unplugging the machine, he's going to jack in, and then he's going to spend his in-game currency to buy himself some armor and some guns, and he's going to go and 1v1,000 all this Chaos stuff. And obviously it's an old Space Marine book, so he like kicks everyone's ass with he puts on Terminator armor and then he talks into like details how he's like gearing up, and then he picks a bolt pistol and a chainsaw. Like, oh, you are in the virtual world. You could have cyclone missile launchers, assault cannon, power fist. Nah.
I'm not sure the armored gauntlet on a Terminator or cataphractoid Terminator set would even hold a bolt pistol. Good luck getting that through the trigger guard.
Exactly, but long story short, if anyone can find the story, it's called like Hell in a Bottle, I think it is. Long story short, he actually fucks up and gets turned into a portal that allows the chaos to leave the virtual reality into actual real life, and he gets his entire chapter destroyed. It's like, how shit of a guy are you? It just made me, you went into a virtual reality experience, lost, and got your entire chapter wiped out.
Amazing.
That's still one of my peak books ever. So yeah, you want a good read? Go find Hell in a Bottle. It's peak Warhammer, back when writing was just weird for Warhammer.
Nice.
It was an experience. I just need to share that because it's still one of my favourite stories of all time. It's so stupid. Wait, they are releasing the codex and not any new data slates. So there will still continue to be data slates for like balancing. Our codex, we probably won't see a new unit for our codex until next edition at this point.
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
So yeah, there'll still be some releases coming out here and there, but I don't think we'll get anything for Death Guard in the meantime. But we've got plenty of stuff to work with, so we should be all good. So yeah, right. That probably brings us towards the end of this. Sorry, I went on a random tangent about this. Random tangent.
You have to find it and put it in the put a link to it in the
name
of it, stick it in.
So the reason I actually like remember it so much is I read the book, and then a while ago, I used to watch a different podcast back when I was just working, and they had a series, and they're called Mob Rules. That was it. And they're actually Grim After Dark now. And that's they work for FLG now. But they had a competition on which is the worst character in all of 40k, and for ages like Kato Sakari stuff was winning it, and so I entered that, and then they went and read it, and then he immediately jumped to first place, and he's officially the worst character in all of 40k Quest. That's why I like it so much. Last question: is the Lord of Poxes underwhelming?
Hang on, before you answer that, I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
How many times have you played him?
I have played him
at a tournament.
At a tournament, about 8 times.
Okay. I've not played him once.
Yeah, played him once. He's okay. If he was a little cheaper, I'd have paper with him. But like him in a 5-man squad just punching stuff, I actually quite like. The problem I have for him is just I just want him to be a little cheaper. Yeah. And honestly, like the enhancements for him, like Cornucophagus being like 35 points is ridiculous for an enhancement cost. Like you're putting over 50% cost on him just to give him an extra second contagion. So
15 more points, tally man.
Exactly. So he's not terrible. I don't think he makes the top cut all the time. But if you just want a guy to join 5 Marines, give him all melee weapons, and be like, your entire job is to go and clear an objective, he can do that more than fine. So he's okay. He's underwhelming if you expect him to go and like smash everything in the world or make you still one up 18. But he's great. He's great as just a little 5-man caddy, follow him around, go smash a squad off a point. Just as long as you don't expect too much out of him, he won't disappoint you because he does hit pretty hard. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good, mate. So I guess we can kind of wrap up there. We've got one more stream before, one more Tuesday before.
One more Tuesday before London, indeed, and we'll have our list locked in then.
Yeah, they're going to want it this Sunday, I think.
Yeah, so we can all talk about the list to be locked in. Myself, you, and Will will be back as well, so we'll all be able to. I mean, Will's not going, but we'll let Will judge our list, I suppose.
Yeah. Hey, Gobble. But I made it at least with enough time to say hello there.
And also Johnny Campbell. That's awesome to hear, mate. I'm glad you're helping me focus on Death Guard as well. That's awesome.
So we'll talk about the final lockup for LGT. And just so everyone knows, just a quick update for me as well. Tycho will be coming back on the channel pretty soon. So there's a possibility it could be Friday. I'm just talking to him about timings. If so, I'll do it in like another kind of catch-up session. It won't be like an interview one, but because we've got managing lots of different bits between us, I might do that one. If not, I might bounce it to after LGT so we can have a talk about the event that kind of there, and it might be a fun one to have his views on it too.
That's awesome. And very last question, chat. Do I take Dave's cock to a GT? Well, you'll have to get it off him first. You'll have to
fight me for it.
You have to fight him for it. But yeah, go give it a go. Give it a go. But yeah, it's good to see you. Good to see you as live as well, Mr. Sergey. Thank you very much, guys. So yeah, to everyone, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We'll love you and leave you for
thanks,
now.
everybody.
Stay right, everybody. Take care, and I will update you if I go to Tati. But I'll see you on a Sunday stream anyway before that, so you'll have a more update there. So I'll see you on Sunday for Blight Surgery. Get that video playing aggressively out before then. So keep your eyes on the channel. And until next time, everybody, stay right on. Take care. Bye-bye.
Like, comment, subscribe.
In the void, where the warp winds howl, a fleet once noble, now destined to fall. Grave wardens stir, betrayal takes shape, Typhon's whispers sealing their fate. Navigators lost to the shadowed lie, a fleet adrift beneath a darkened sky. The warp's cruel grasp, unyielding and tight, chaos awaits in the endless night. Whispers of power, a pestilent tide, Mortarian's pride, with nowhere to hide. The destroyer plague, a grim reward, Nurgle's laughter echoes aboard. Bound by decay, they rise in his name. The death god transformed, never the same. Plague-born sons with torment they bled, shambling forth where angels fear to tread. Mortarian stands, his sons by his side. Through agony storm, their oaths collide. Grandfather's hand, the pact is sealed. The legion reborn, their fate revealed. Rise in the armor, rot in the soul. A Primarch remade, his heart grown cold. In terror shadow, their war drums beat. Pestilent warriors, no chance of retreat. Through breach and ruin, their banners fly. With death's embrace, they'll never die. The Lion's Gate, where hope was torn. Jagged blade meets the Plague-born. Typhus herald, chaos born, Mortarian's wrath, the plague sworn. In the warp, their legacy thrives, eternal servants where corruption lies. Mortarians fall, Typhus ascends, the death god song, it never ends.